Welcome to today's episode of Shell Chronicles, where we'll dive into the fascinating world of shell scripting. I'm thrilled to explore some of the most substantial shell programs out there, the ingenious ways they function, and what makes them stand out. So, let's get started. You know, when we talk about significant shell programs, we're not just talking line counts. We're talking about depth, sophistication, and how creatively they use data structures and algorithms. One standout example is Akino Miyoga's Blee.sh, coming in at a whopping 61K lines of code. This interactive line editor is written entirely in pure Bash. Can you imagine that? The main file features around 30K lines, and it's not just vast, it's incredibly sophisticated. It uses state machines and a drawing buffer to handle raw bytes from the terminal. Pretty cool, right? Now, how about BashDB, the Bash debugger? It's about 14K lines, but it has a rich history tied to the development of debuggers. Imagine having the power to scrutinize your shell scripts with such a tool. And let's not forget docwetter testsl.esh, impressively sized at 21K lines. This script started back in 2006 with just a few OpenSSL commands. It really shows how shell scripts can evolve over time, doesn't it? There's also a quirky project called SimpleNetis, dubbed Kubernetes in 17K lines of shell. While it seems to be dormant now, its premise of managing Kubernetes through a shell script is quite leap-worthy. This makes you think about how shell creative can shape the infrastructure landscape. Shifting gears a bit, have you heard about DylanApp's NeoFetch? This 10K line script displays system information in style. And yes, it even does something interesting with images. The innovation in such seemingly simple tools is what keeps the shell scripting community vibrant. Of course, we can't overlook the smaller but still notable projects like acme.esh, a shell script responsible for issuing and renewing certificates, clocking in at about 7K lines. It's fascinating how these scripts, sometimes not as lengthy, can pack such functionality under the hood. All right, let's throw in a fun fact. There's BashTop, a resource monitor that's around 5.3K lines. It's like having a mini dashboard for your system, but entirely in Bash. And then there's Winetricks, with its purpose of installing Windows programs under Wine, highlighting how versatile shell scripts can be even in cross-platform scenarios. And speaking of variety, the best examples also lead us to shell-like languages and domain-specific languages like Modernish or Bashable. These showcase how shell languages are evolving past the basics, making them even more powerful and user-friendly. As we wrap up today's episode, it's clear that shell scripting is not just about automating tasks. It's an art form. The complexity and thoughtfulness behind these programs speak volumes about the creativity in the tech community. So I invite you, dear listeners, to explore these projects and perhaps consider what your next shell scripting adventure might be. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned scripter, there's always something new to learn and build. Thank you for tuning in to Shell Chronicles. Join us next time as we uncover more hidden gems in the shell scripting universe. Until then, keep experimenting and happy coding.